Alright guys, I'm Steven Cruz. I play Madolche. I usually play Lightsworn, but I also play Madolche. How you doing? Anyway, I'm doing this video for Red the Duelist because, it's new meta, it's new format, and the deck is finally done.
You don't have to say that,
I just want to, let people know. This is my build. You don't have to run it. It's just how I feel. It's a 40 card deck, extra deck 15. Let's just get started. 3 Madolche, she's stable, she searches everything, she does the hoopla. 3 Milfa Willie, I don't understand why people can't pronounce her name. She's a marauding captain, she's busted. I mean...
Yeah, she starts the deck, yo.
And now for the new ones that was come out of Abyss Rising. This is post Abyss Rising, by the way. 3 Messengelados. When she special summon, if you control a beast type Madolche, which is always going to be either the cat or the dog, she can special summon, she can search for a spell or trap Madolche card in your deck. She's also a warrior. She goes into Tiramisu because she's a level 4. A lot of options for extra deck. Speaking of the dog, you only run 2 of the dog. His effect is to bounce a card so he can gain a level plus 300, and if for some odd reason...
It's not a cost anymore. He's broken. He triggers ticket.
Yeah, it's just retarded. Either you can make rank 3s, which I don't advise to do, because with the field he becomes a 23 beater if he uses effect, or you'll just make Tiramisu with him within 1 or 2 turns.
He's amazing.
2 Chevalier, warrior beater. You do bring him up with tickets sometimes if you do special him, because if you don't want your Tiramisu or Pudding Cess to die, they have to swing into him, and with the field he's 22. He's just freaking huge. And speaking of Pudding Cess, you only run 1 of her. Some friends of mine and teammates have been saying run 2 or 3. I only like to tech in 1 only because she won't come out as much as you think she will, and if she comes in a hand, you'll either have Madolche Palooza or Millie Foley to bring her out.
In my opinion, I'm thinking that you shouldn't run any, because if this is a more Exceed-centric type version, if it's more for Tiramisu, and if you have a different Exceeds, he's kind of, but whatever, go on.
That's fine. Well, the monster count is 14. That's the last monster. She's just a beater. If she comes out, she comes out. It's whatever. Moving on to spells. 3 Madolche Chateau, one of the most busted cards in the deck. I said boosted. I don't care. All Madolches gain 500 attack and defense. Whenever they'll be destroyed and sent to the graveyard, I can add them back to my hand instead, and since it's continuous, it'll keep bringing them in my hand, it will always trigger ticket. So this and ticket is busted.
Well, I just thought about it. It's not continuous, because it triggers ticket.
Exactly.
Speaking
of ticket, 3 Madolche ticket. This is your wind-up factory. And since it's it's a common, which is awful. Whenever a Madolche card on your field or graveyard is being returned to your hand or deck by any card effect, including themselves or your opponents, you can add 1 Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. If you control a Fairy Madolche, which is either Pudding Cess or Tiramisu, you can special summon the monster instead. Now, the only thing that is not Wind Up Factory, it doesn't stack. If you have, let's say, 2 of them on field,
only get 1 search.
Exactly. If they would be able to stack like that, the pluses you would get off of this would be tremendously insane.
It's broken because the new Madolche errata is that even if you're warning when they're summoned and stuff, you don't have to keep them on field anymore.
Yep.
Meaning they'll go back into deck or hand if you have Chateau. If they go back in hand Chateau, you get ticket.
Or if
you're just gonna plus.
Or if they warning it and I don't have Chateau, pretty much with ticket, I'm just gonna grab back the same monster you're just warning. So thank you for paying 2,000 life points for me to get the same monster back. Since there's not much draw power, for base consistency, 2 duality. It's semi-limited. If it was still at 3, you would run 3 because it just helps with the consistency of the deck, and the synergy is just amazing. I tech in 1 reinforcement of the army. Now, some people are going to smash on this card. There are 5 warrior targets in the deck.
It's a good card. It's a great Messengelato fast.
Yes. If you open Madolche in this card, you're guaranteed to get the dog, which is Croiwanssant, to your hand, and then if you open this as well, you grab Messengelato, and then you just set up for next turn. And it's just a 1-of. It's just great. And then we go to Staples, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Heavy Storm. Even though I do run heavy back row, first turn heavy is still first turn heavy.
Too good.
2 MST as opposed to 3. You still need your back row, and 2 MST just helps.
Plus, you have Tiramisu to blow up backfield.
Well, she doesn't really blow. She bounces backfield, which is amazing. And any cards on the field, but 2 is enough. That's it for spells. I don't know the exact count on that. I know traps is 12, so if you guys do the math, 14 monsters, 12 traps, it's 14 spells. Hey, we know the math. On to the traps. Basic Solemn Brigade, 1 Black Rare Solemn Judgment, 1 Super Rare Solemn Warning, and 1 Ultra Rare Solemn.
We're on a budget here, guys.
Yeah, it's the Solemn Brigade, but it's still there. You run 2 Compulses now. even if your opponent is not playing a monster-heavy deck, if they set 2 back row say go, during my end phase, if I have Ticket in this card, I can bounce the monster to my hand, and then it'll trigger Ticket.
Yep.
People forget that. I can plus during your end phase if you do nothing. So please, do nothing.
Still rather run Deep Prison. Gets rid of the big beaters that don't exceed.
I totally agree, especially with this meta when you can just remove stuff. I mean, instead of Deep Prisons, I run double Bottomless only because I don't have Deep Prisons.
Great card.
I mean,
it's amazing.
Thunder King locks down this deck heavy, guys. If they go first turn Thunder King and you open with all your searchers, you have nothing to do. Unless you have Field and a Beater and they don't have back row. But 2 Bottomless, still good. Any case. 1 Mirror Forest. 1 as opposed to 2, it's in back condition. Just
Forca de Espelano.
It's Forza de Esfela. I believe it's Spanish. It's a first dead ultra. It's okay condition. I run 1 as opposed to 2 only because, how do you say it? 2 is just way too much. If you open all that stuff and they
just side it, man.
Yeah,
Against Swarm decks, regular decks is
And I do not run Torrential because for Madolche effects, whenever they're destroyed, it has to be by my opponent's card effect or by battle. If I Torrential or Dark Hole my own monsters, we're still in traps. Sorry about that. 2 Madolche Palooza.
Got a phone call.
We'll connect the videos. A lot of editing will be done. 2 Madolche Paloozas. You do not run 3 only because you run as well 1 Ultimate Offering. These help out your hand so much. Even though your monster count is low, if you open heavy monsters in this and they're going to attempt to OTK, you could just activate this and just special summon Messenger Gelato, the dog. Get pluses during your opponent's turn if they do OTK. Or wait a turn to set up your hand and then just activate this. They waste a warning, that's fine. Hopefully you have this or this, or just normal summon, and just poke them away with the field card. Ultimate Offering at 1 only because it's at 1. If it was at 2...
everyone would be running at 2.
Gadgets versus Madolches would be the meta. Honest to God.
Gadgets. Have you seen Inzektor's Ultimate Offering?
Oh God.
They're fucking broke.
And then for the last trap,
they are hit.
Because you run so many traps.
Damn right.
It's generic, guys. Come on.
Starlight, Judgment, you're good. Now to the extra deck, guys.
Extra deck is 15 for now. It's still in testing because, I mean, we don't know what's gonna be. We don't know what's gonna be tier.
You put everything?
Yeah, I put.
Okay. Just go.
All right. 2 Queens. People say run 3. Some people can only get 1. I prefer 2 because even though Solemn is out, Bottomless is out.
Ooh, Ultimate.
Yeah, 1 Ulti, 1 Ultra. What was I saying? The reason being, even though, let's say the first one is warninged, Chateau can just grab it back into the extra deck. Now, if it gets Bottomless, that's why you need the second one, because if the first one's Bottomless, of course you win condition. It's going to be Pudding Cess, but that's why if they both get Bottomless, Pudding Cess is the key to victory afterwards.
Not really. You just beat down with Croiwanssant, keep gaining attack.
That's true. I mean, the beefiest you can get is 42. With the field is 47. On to more. There'll be Tempo. 1 Utopia. 1 Utopia Array. Now, even though I don't run Mind Control, which I'm probably going to fit in eventually, Utopia Array, just in case my life points do get to a low point, which will always end up happening if I don't go off as I should. 1 Maestro, generic. 1 Shockmaster. You put this in because you swarm a lot, more than you think. Especially if you go Madolche Palooza or Ultimate Offering. Yes. You can go not first turn, but your field can end up consisting of Shockmaster and 1 Tiramisu. Or in some very rare cases, 2 and 1. Detach, bounce. If your opponent has nothing on field, call monster effects and swing. It's pretty dumb.
Oh, if you go ult on for first turn, that's what your field is going to be in the end.
My God, it's disgusting.
That and maybe some other monster.
Photon Papilla Imperative.
Spirit Reaper, Marshmallow, the stuff that blocks you. Gets rid of it.
These 2 are fucking dumb. I know Utopia Array is there.
Why the hell is Utopia Array?
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
These 2 are dumb. You run Warriors. It's shocking. It gets over BLS. Unless they have Honest or Armor, then it's just, oh my God.
Who the fuck runs BLS and Honest unless you're running Lightsworn?
Yeah. 1 Fairy King Elverdite. Everybody in the deck is Earth. Now, people are going to comment saying, why don't you run Grand Soil? No one's in the graveyard long enough. That's why. 1 Zen Meister only because if Madeline is still on the field and you have Chateau, she'll be 19. If they don't want to collide or swing into her and they'll set a monster, and somehow you exceed into him and Mageline's still on field, You can detach set her, then re-flip summon her, and she'll get her effect upon flip summon as well. So
Not by his effect. He's talking about if you flip her by yourself.
Yes, so you have to wait a full turn, obviously, to get her full effect up.
Not really, because if you flip her down and you haven't done anything with her, you can flip her up.
Exactly. You just get more pluses off of it. It just helps. I'm taking in one Kusanagi right now because I do run warriors. Even though 3 level 4 warriors are... It's pretty impressive if you can do it.
This guy's alright. He negates traps, gains 500 every time you do.
Well, it's during either player's turn, and it's only once per turn. If he didn't say once per turn, he would be pretty sweet.
Too sweet.
Just in case Shockmaster to you doesn't seem like an option, and you need something a little bit bigger, but this is when you will make like Utopia or Maestro. He'll just be there. I haven't gotten Gandiva yet, but if I do, I might tech her in. One Chrononaut. I should have put in Zen mains, but that's just in there just because. One Leviathan Dragon because it's Leviathan Dragon, and since of course I run Starlight Road. Monster's Dragon.
Yep.
So any comments or questions about the deck, comment on the video. Either Red the Duelist or myself will answer the questions, and yeah, see you guys.